the things I recognised, because I had a lot of, I had a big wall come up for me when I was some years ago when I was contemplating like having to work again because I could see that the money I had wasn't a lot and it was running out. And I had a wife and a child and bills and money and expenses and all these things. And I made a couple of I would say, at the time they really felt like mistakes. I bought property at the time when that housing market crashed. And so things happened that pushed me even deeper into a fearful state. But what happened was this wall came up of like, I knew that if I was going to go back to working, um, that I was going to get busy. I was going to spend my days thinking about work, thinking about all the functions of work and whatever I was doing. And then I would come home tired and I'd sit in traffic and then I'd have supper and then I'd just kind of vegetate for a few hours, doing something to take my mind off of, the daily, busyness. And then I'd go to sleep and then I would wake up in the morning to an alarm clock to be at work at a certain time, and then I'd do that 5 days a week, and then the weekend would just disappear because now I'd want to try and do something else and enjoy myself. And then I just knew that the life that I had been leading up to that time, which was just full of peace and full of lots of time I was walking in the mountains every day, I was swimming, I was cycling, I was rock climbing, I was doing beautiful ceremonies, and we were doing so many beautiful things, and life was just really amazing. And I just knew all that would go, because what I really appreciated at that time was just the stillness and the beauty of being able to look at the sunset and look at nature and go and sit down on the beach in the morning and just to meditate and play some music. I was playing guitar and I play harmonium and I play a few other instruments. I play the flute, so I'd walk every day and I'd play my flute, and I'd go home and I'd practice some songs and things like that. And I knew that if I got busy and I started working and chasing the money thing, that all that would be very difficult to maintain. So this big wall came up in me about not doing that, not going and working, and actually just go into the fears. Just what are these fears that are coming up? Let me just sit with these fears and let me offer these fears actually to the part of the mind or the part of my mind or the part of God's mind that had the answer to this, because I knew there was an answer to this. I didn't know the answer, but I knew there was an answer, and it must be part of the mind, because all answers and problems are in the mind. So, let me give it to that part of the mind. Let me offer this fear and this problem that I was seeing to that part of the mind, which I knew my mind was connected to that part of the mind, because I was quite clear that there is only, in truth, one mind. We're all sharing one mind. That's, the brain is not the source of the mind. The mind is not a physical thing in the brain. The mind is a spiritual. Thoughts are spiritual and non-physical. So, and slowly those fears transformed, and all the things that I thought were going to happen never happened. And then you start to realize that the fears are just deception. They're just part of the egoic, they're part of the devil, really. They're part of evil. I'm not saying there is a devil. There's not this man sitting up there somewhere, trying to do wrong to everybody. But there are evil thoughts, and there are, unholy thoughts about ourselves. But that's all within us. It's all within our mind. It's just beliefs that we carry about ourselves. And these evil beliefs, these evil thoughts need to be questioned because all the time we're believing in them and we are acting on them, and we only act on them because we believe in them. All the time we're doing that, we're lost. We are lost within the deception. So we have to take time to question the deception, question the suffering, question the problem, and not answer it, but actually just question the reality of it. Not to answer the problem. There's too many problems in the world. You cannot answer all the problems in the world. It's just an infinite number of problems. This one thing after another. But you can offer the problems to the part of the mind that actually does have that wisdom and that knowledge, and let that part of the mind answer the problem for you. In a way, like for me, I would call that the Holy Spirit. It's the part of the mind which is, or the part of God which is all-knowing, that interacts with us on this egoic level, can interact with us on this egoic level and communicate with us, because I've experienced this communication on many occasions, and in very in profound ways. So I know that it's true, and I know it's there. And so that's what I do. I take these fears and I offer them to the Holy Spirit. I offer them to part of the God mind, the mind that I actually share at some level. And I offer them to that and let that answer them for me. And what happens is all the fears disappear. All the things I thought were going to happen never happen. They all transform into something amazing, actually. And this is the thing about this not working for a living. They eventually, everything transforms into something amazing, and a miracle happens. You fear you're not going to have money, you fear you're not going to be able to pay your bills. But when you give these fears away, the bills get paid and the things come, one thing after another, miracles happen. And the thing is about miracles is they don't have to make sense, you actually, they're miraculous. A miracle is creation, creation is a miracle. So it's something that appears out of nothingness. And all of a sudden, that thing that you thought was so bad doesn't happen, and something beautiful stands in its place. And this is the nature of the true self. We were given everything in beauty and in love. The deception is that we weren't, and we are, we're bad and we're evil and we're sinful and all these things. The meaning of sin just means separation. The actual meaning of sin, translated from Hebrew, is to miss the mark. To miss the mark is if you've got a mark and you miss the mark, you've got a space between 2 points. That's the separation. There is no right or wrong or good or evil, or good or bad. It's just a space. That's the meaning of sin. It's a gap between 2 points. And when we are in this position of the body experience, and we've lost our identity in the body, and we believe that we are these body beings, we believe in the separation because we've lost the knowledge of the self, which is a spiritual being. And now we've become a physical being, and now we believe in that. And that is the meaning of sin. When it says we're born in sin, it doesn't mean that we're born bad. It means we're born in separation from the self. We've lost the knowledge of the self. And in truth, the separation doesn't exist because it's an illusion. It's a dream. You're still the dreamer. You're still the self. That hasn't changed. But you've lost the knowledge of the self. So it's about joining those two back together again and bringing them back together so that you have that knowledge. So you can still be in the body, but now you're a super being. You become Superman or Superwoman. Now all of a sudden your consciousness is expanded out into the universe, and you become super conscious of a reality that is non-physical, that is your reality, that is our reality, that is reality that's manifest in this world. And therefore you become powerful, and that is where the abundance is, because now you become like God gave you to be. God created you to be, or whatever created us to be. We become that again. Or at least we become aware of that again. We're still in the body, but we have an awareness which is beyond the body. And that is liberation. That is the meaning of liberation. It's also the meaning of salvation. And that's where the abundance lies. That's where the true value lies. It's not in the gold, it's not in the money, it's not in the bags and the handbags and the clothes and the jewelry and the cars and the jet planes or any of that. It's not in any of that. All of those are false hopes. They're all deception. It's not there. It's not in our jobs. It's not in our professions. It's not in our titles. It's not in our degrees. It's not in our, what we were educated ourselves to understand. It's not in any of that. It actually lies outside of this reality. The true abundance of who we are is within the self, and then once that's realized, then the universe gives you everything. It just keeps giving you what you ask for, because that's the function of the universe, is to give you what you ask for. And that's what it's doing. We're asking for what's not valuable. We're asking for money. We're asking for objects. We're asking for all these things. But because those things don't have value in them, we're asking for poverty, really. We keep asking for the same thing. We keep asking for value where there isn't any value. So we keep asking for more money. But that money, doesn't matter how much money you got, it's never enough, because it never had the abundance that is within the knowledge of who you are. It doesn't have that power. There is no power in money. It's a complete conceptual idea. It's a belief. It doesn't have any power, has no value, has nothing. All it is an instrument of barter and trading. But we have all these people teaching us, make more money, I can show you how to make more money, I can show you how to get a better job, I can show you how to make $5,000 in a day, or $500 in a day, or I can show you how to become a millionaire, or these are all false gurus. These are all deceptive gurus. They don't mean to be, because they think they see value in money and they see value in objects. But once you've followed that path for a while and you become a millionaire and you've got the bling and you've got the car, the minute you got it, you start to lose it. It'll become less valuable to you. It'll start to be withered away. The tax man will take his share. Something will come along and chew up another percentage of your money, and then you're going to do something and you're going to lose another wad of money, and then other people are going to come along, and all of a sudden your $1 million is you're left poor again, or you're left feeling like you're losing, so you've got to make more, and this is always the goal of the rich, is that they always need to be making more. Even if you've got 20 billion or 200 billion in your account, it's still not enough. You still need to be making more, because the actual thing doesn't actually give what you hoped it would give. There's amazing freedom that can be accomplished in this world by having enough. But if you are just chasing money, then there is never enough. If you're wise enough and you've got enough money, you can stop working and you can actually just enjoy the flowers, and enjoy life and enjoy the beauty of nature, and you can do amazing things to help other people. But that takes great wisdom, that takes great humility and compassion. Not many rich people have that. Not many people with money have that. Most people with money are just so busy chasing more money. Their lives are so full with busyness. And that is always the ego. That's always the deception of evil, the deception